Now, it's no surprise that many investors are looking towards dividend income, especially those that pay out every single month. This can be used to help pay down your rent, pay off car insurance, or pay down any other electric bills or any other grocery bills that you may have. And that is why we have the rise in popularity of monthly paying dividend stocks and ETFs. Today, we're going to be going over two popular ETFs that pay out dividends monthly. The first one is, of course, going to be JEPQ, the JP Morgan Nasdaq Equity Premium Income ETF. This ETF seeks consistent premium income with lower volatility, and it seeks to deliver monthly distributable income and Nasdaq 100 exposure with less volatility. It's led by a portfolio manager that has over 3 decades of experience investing in equities and equity derivatives. For the portfolio, the underlying equity portfolio employs an applied data science approach to a fundamental research and portfolio construction, and it has disciplined options overlay, which implements written out of the money NASDAQ 100 index call options that seek to generate distributable monthly income. The results, we get an attractive 12-month rolling dividend yield of about 10.12% and a 30-day SEC yield of 9.76%. And it is competitively priced versus peers at only 0.35% expense ratio. Our second ETF is going to be GPIQ, which is a direct competitor to JEPQ. It is the Goldman Sachs NASDAQ 100 Core Premium Income ETF. The objective of this ETF is to seek current income while maintaining prospects for capital appreciation. And some of the reasons to consider investing is that it seeks consistent monthly distributions. It aims to generate consistent monthly distributable rate, generally from options premium and equity dividends. The second reason to invest is the core equity exposure with lower volatility. It provides core equity exposure to the NASDAQ 100 index and dynamically sells call options while allowing for participation with the rising markets and potential outperformance in negative to flat markets. And the third reason is it diversifies your source of income. It seeks to deliver an attractive income with lower correlation to traditional income sources and their risks. So basically, both of these ETFs hold stocks in the NASDAQ 100, which makes up very volatile tech companies. And by selling out of the money call options, we can generate monthly distributions through those call option premiums. And since they are far out of the money, we also allow us some room for capital appreciation. And we do want to note that the expense ratio for GPIQ is actually a tad bit lower at 0.29%. If we take a look at GPIQ's top 10 holdings, we can see we have solid tech companies such as Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Broadcom, Meta, Costco, Alphabet, Netflix, and Alphabet. And by sector, information technology makes up half of its portfolio holdings, with communication services at 15.65% and consumer discretionary at 13.51%. JEPQ's top 10 holdings are very similar, with its top 10 holdings being Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, Broadcom, Netflix, Tesla, and Costco. And if we break it down by sector, we can see that information technology makes up 40% of this fund, and communication services 12.8%, and consumer discretionary at 11.7%. Now, if we take a look at JEPQ's stock appreciation, we can see we're actually up 5% all time, and this fund was created May 4th of 2022, and it currently has $22 billion of assets under management. The dividend yield is currently sitting at 10.75%, and we have a dividend growth rate of 26.86%. GPIQ has an all-time return of stock appreciation of 17.12%. But this fund is a lot newer, and it was created during a nice bull run, so it was only a few months old compared to JEPQ. And it does have a smaller assets under management, being only $446 million. But here we do see that lower expense ratio of 0.29% compared to JEPQ's 3.35%. And we do actually have a higher dividend yield of 10.99% currently. And just like JEPQ, we have a monthly payout frequency with a payout ratio of 336%. On average, if we take a look at the dividend history, it has been paying around 40 cents per month, compared to JEPQ, which has been paying between 40 cents and 55 cents every single month. So a little bit more volatility with its dividend payouts. Now, if we take a look at the total real returns with dividends reinvested, we can actually see since November of 2023 that JEPQ has actually underperformed GPIQ. And that could be because GPIQ is a little bit more tech heavy, so it did have that higher stock appreciation as well as that lower expense ratio coming into play. Whichever ETF you go with, JEPQ and GPIQ are great choices. You can't go wrong with going with one or the other. Many people decide to choose JEPQ because of its longer history. It has been out since 2022 compared to GPIQ, which hasn't been only out since October of 2023. So very new ETF, but both of these companies, both of these ETFs are backed by big companies such as JP Morgan as well as Goldman Sachs. If I had to pick and choose just one, I would personally pick JEPQ because we have much more trading volume at 5 million compared to GPIQ's 249,000 volume. So it's very easy to liquidate your JEPQ position compared to GPIQ. And that smaller assets under management with GPIQ could come into play. But if you're looking for some income ETFs, both of these are great options. They are tracking the NASDAQ, so you're getting that NASDAQ exposure, you're getting stock appreciation, and you're getting monthly income that can be used to help pay bills such as rent or electricity.